They took a bite out of the sports apparel industry, competing against Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and so forth. They did a record-breaking sales of $230 million in sales last year.
This is Gymshark.
Let's go. What's up, everyone? Sean Azari here. I'm with Matt Skopak.
What's up, guys?
Welcome to Deep Dive Episode 5, where we take businesses and basically dive into them, take their business and marketing strategies such that you can take them away and implement them into your business. And today we're going to talk about Gymshark. They have such a great story. Matt, before we get into the 6 or 7 tips that we're going to provide so people could take that strategy and start implementing in their business, let's add some context, a little bit of story about Gymshark.
Yeah. Started in 2012 at the United Kingdom. Started by a 19-year-old gentleman named Ben Francis. He was full-time college student, pizza delivery boy, and then he came up with this concept of basically fitted gym apparel that basically, instead of baggy old clothes and t-shirts, basically fitted brands, fitted shirts, everything like that. And he grew this into a huge e-commerce player, playing with the big boys of likes of Nike, Under Armour, and basically all the rest of them. So we're going to jump in further. And
before you get in that, also I want to specify, because we're both gym goers, right? Even to this day, we used to wear just baggy sweats, baggy shirts, our old clothing, and take our old clothing and just wear them in the gym, like things that we just wore outside, and just like make cutoffs and so forth. Where they did is
we used to cut off our sleeves. Remember that? And if you got really aggressive, like the whole side of the shirt, and then that's what you rock to the gym.
Yep.
Those days are over.
So they basically made gym fashionable with their clothing. So great concept. They took their skill set, making their clothing comfortable, but also taking industry-minded people and their culture and making a market out of it. So they're competitive across these big brands. So let's get into number one of their growth strategy, I would say, which I really, really do like, especially because they started on Instagram, is segmenting their audience by creating multiple Instagram pages. So how do they do that? So what they have, what I've seen at least, they have about 3, maybe 4 Instagram pages, where one page is just their workout videos, where their ambassadors or reps are just doing workout videos, exercise tips that they could do at home or in the gym to grow a certain muscle group, such that people could take their expertise and then go to the gym and do their workouts, right? So they're doing really value-based content on these specific pages. They also have a page just for women, right? So segmenting their women and male audience into different pages. So they have, I believe it's Gymshark Women. I believe that's
Gymshark Men.
Yep. So again, they're building an audience just on that page, such that they can retarget that audience based on that page, based on that audience, and then showcase their products and workouts, their female products and workouts that females can do on that page. So again, segmenting their audience is huge. Now, how can you do that? I've done that. I'll just share an example. I've done it with a client, Safavia actually, where they sell multiple products. So now think about it. If you sell multiple products, I took their page where I did Safavia in the beginning. Safavia, they had Safavia Home, where it was everything. Then they had Safavia Rugs, where I just shared rugs. Mm-hmm. I had Safavia Pillows or Accents, where I just shared like pillows being decorated in different rooms. Yeah. So think about ways that you could segment your audience based on their interest. If it's males, females, or different product types that your customer may not like not all your customers are like. So if you could do that, segment your pages, that's huge.
Yeah. And it provides more value for the customers and better retention then. I mean, men only want to see the men clothing, women, so forth. So you're not showing things that they wouldn't want to see. You're providing exactly what they want, which provides more value. So that's basically it. So let's move on to number 2, leveraging multiple social media platforms to help build the company. And when we researching Gymshark, they did this very well. So they are on all the major platforms. You name it: Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Pinterest, Twitter. I can go on and on. TikTok. So they are on each one, but also they're not just use a general approach. They don't just post the same thing on all media platforms.
And this is what most companies do. They
Yeah.
tend to like be on every platform, but they share the same content on every platform. They don't do that. They're doing actually right.
Exactly. So they create their own campaigns and content for each one of their accounts. So if you look at their Twitter account, it's fun, it's casual, it's very Twitter-like, saying just sentences or memes.
Conversational,
Exactly.
which is
Very
that's the platform
conversational.
to be on if you want to create conversations or hack communication, which I like to call it.
But like if you look at their Instagram, like their main account, it's very more value based, where they're showing a lot of great quality pictures, content, videos like that. If you then move on to their TikTok account, which people say, what's TikTok? Like it's never going to be anything. They got into TikTok early, and basically they partnered with the proper influencers on there. I think they're a young two twins, like kids that are like 17 or 18. They partnered with them. They have millions of followers. They started creating TikTok videos wearing Gymshark. Great following. That's exactly who their target customer is. Spotify. Who creates a channel on Spotify for a business? That's Gymshark did. They created a motivational platform where basically their influencers create workouts and then theme songs or playlists that go along that their followers could use and the customers of Gymshark could use to basically use during a workout. So they've gone through all the major platforms and they've really created a strong brand and a value-based thing for their customers.
So how can businesses take that strategy? Like how can I believe every business could be on Spotify.
Yeah.
So maybe shed some light on that, because when people think of Spotify and what Gymshark's doing right, it's music. They have their curated, I believe, music playlist based on the influencer,
So
right?
let's look at Casper. Remember we talked about Casper 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
3 weeks ago. So Casper, they want to be able to do everything they can that has to do with sleep. So they should create their own channel that would be songs that would calm you down, ocean sounds, just anything that had to do about calming and soothing music, playlists, and things like that people could then listen to when they're trying to fall asleep. That happens to all of us. We're laying in bed, can't sleep. So let's go on Spotify. Let's get into the mood. Casper playlist. Let's see what this is about. And then you're just creating brand recognition about anything pillows, sleeping. That's how you open up, and that's how people buy products, because you're the first one to think of. So that's just an example of how other companies could do it and how you can do it.
Also, I know we're talking about this, how Casper did like more sleep sounds, how Gymshark is doing motivational music, but you could also do like this, what we're doing now, podcast tips on your industry, right? 4 or 5 minute clips, short clips where people can listen to and then remember your brand. You're providing that value. For them, the value is music because they're a gym brand. They're providing motivational music, but they also, perhaps, I don't know if they have, but that's working for them, but they could do gym workout audio on their Spotify.
It's a really good example of thinking outside the box. It's not just IG, Facebook, like think outside the box and always jump on new platforms like TikTok, like they did with TikTok.
So number three?
Number three is
promoting value-based content to build up brand equity. So a lot of people like to promote content and go right for the sale. What they do is they're actually, not only they have that type of content, right? Which is, I consider, the sales category. What they're doing is building up brand awareness, which is another category, 2 different types of advertising or content that you could use for advertising, where they're taking workout videos. They have a male working out and another video where a female's working out, providing exercise tips and actually just promoting that type of content without really a call to action, right? Just a learn to more. Perhaps, I don't know if they have learn to more, if they did, it will just go right to their blog, which is providing just more information on that workout tip.
Yep.
But that video itself is going to get tons of shares, more exposure, more reach for that brand. And guess what? Those athletes that are providing those workout videos, they're wearing the product without just saying anything. So it's indirectly advertising the brand. So it's a huge strategy. A lot of brands, I'll tell you this, they don't like doing that. They're like, well, what's my KPI there? What am I getting there? What is my sales there? Yeah, there's not really a direct measure except maybe your awareness, your impressions.
You're not going to get a large following. You're not going to grow the following if you're only trying to sell. You need to provide value to your customers. Providing value from, what do? exercises, workouts, probably nutritional tips. Like they're not trying to sell you anything. If I get something, know who does a great job of that? Live Strong. Those emails, I get emails every single day, I think, from Live Strong, and they're great articles about things I like: nutrition, workouts, high intensity training workouts, things like that. And that's exactly what Gymshark does as well. They just give you value. They're not trying to, on the main account, they're not trying to sell you anything.
So create campaigns where you're providing value, even though it's not going to directly relate to sales right away. But guess what? You're reaching a larger audience because people are more likely to share that type of content to their friends rather than sharing just product shots of just to increase sales. So you really want to reach more people when you're running ads, because that's going to decrease your ad cost.
And you're going to keep those people too. People are not going to, oh, they're trying to sell me, I'm following them. If you're providing value, you're going to grow and you're going to keep your followers. We're at number 4 right now. Understanding and making sure you put the right people in the right place for your business or company. And this is something that Gymshark had to do, I'm assuming, when they evolved, is Ben Francis, he was the founder. I'm assuming when they started back in 2012, 13, he was also the CEO. What they did, though, in 2015, I believe, is they actually brought an outside CEO and different positions to fill the role, which this is something that a lot of business owners have trouble doing. And it's understanding what you're good at. If you listen to any of the top CEOs or founders out there, they all understanding that you need to put your ego aside and put the best person in the position. So what he did is he brought in someone that specialized in growing young companies, and he gave up his role CEO. He's a founder, and he made the new gentleman the CEO. And he probably did the same thing with numerous other roles. But you need to understand what you're good at and what you need to get better at, and then find someone that specializes in that market. So as a business owner, don't try to do it all. Don't think you need to know how to do it all. Find the right people and put them in the right place.
Well, in the beginning, I would say, especially if you're bootstrapping, you got to do it all at the same time. But when you build up that capital, it's great to obviously focus on what you're good at and then delegate the tasks of what you're not good at to the experts in your field.
But we talked about this. We were actually, before we were shooting, we talked about it. Say you are a creative mind. Sean's a creative mind. I'm a finance mind. I wanted to become more of a CFO position or find myself, and I'm in finance. So if you compare with someone, maybe they don't have a great background as of yet about like understanding financials of companies. Find them young, find them in the beginning, and this is something they want to get into. And you're not going to have to pay them a CFO salary. It might be for free in the beginning, just so they're a part of something, or maybe it's $1,000 a month or something even smaller. But you don't always have to find like the best of the best. Maybe someone that has passion, wants to do this in the future, and pair with them and get it for a smaller price, a contract price, or some kind of deal from there. But that's bootstrapping, right? Finding another way to do something. Or I mean, for ads or marketing, maybe Sean in the beginning, he just wanted to learn. He wanted to be a part of something. Someone bring him on to grow the brand. But that's another way to go about it. Number 5.
Number 5.
Yes.
I love this. It may sound broad until I get to describe it. Is have a powerful storytelling strategy. What Gymshark does, they have a YouTube channel called Gymshark TV, where they're taking their brand reps and customers, right? Where they're basically having them create a story around their life. So they're not just seeing them in photos or just video clips of them exercising. It's basically their life in a day of XYZ athlete, right? Creating that story, people get inspired and like listen in rather than just, again, selling. So having that strategy is great. So we've done that with Sweetberry bowls, with Made with Good Vibes, where we took some of our partners, right? Where we asked them questions such that, like, outside of Sweetberry, before Sweetberry, what did they do?
Who they are,
what made them become, or what they made them interested in the restaurant industry, what inspires them every day, what they're going through. We did an interview with you, Skopak, right? Going through his MBA, I believe you just finished too, right?
Almost done.
But like his role in Sweetberry, like not only his role in Sweetberry, but going through grad school and also having a full-time job as well.
How do you manage time, full-time job?
And people love that because people, again, buy from people. They want to hear who's behind the brand itself. So find a way to create a powerful storytelling message, storytelling strategy, so people could see who's behind the brand, but also then get your customers involved. Let them tell a story about who they are, what inspires them, and what they're going through. Because people, if you have, especially once you have that platform where you could reach a lot of people, and if someone's going through a hard time, especially through your customers, and if you could help them by just sharing their story across a large platform, that could change their life forever. You don't know that, but it perhaps can. Someone will hear it, or someone that's hearing that story, that person, that follower or subscriber, whoever, that person that's tuned in may message that person in the video like, hey, look, your story inspired me. I'm going through the same thing, blah, blah, blah. That's going to build a relationship with those two people. So if you could do that, if you could provide, if you have that platform, you could create that platform for other people, build it across your brand, it's huge.
I think, if we look over the past 5 weeks now, I think we're seeing a common trend with all these successful new companies is they're not selling. They're creating brands of value to people. We did Pura Vida last week, Casper, the list goes on, Quest Nutrition. They're all building companies value-based, giving the customer something to make their life better. And then, it's kind of thinking about now, it's the new wave of these small companies that are becoming major players. So it's great. So I think last is number 6, which is also going to touch on something Sean talked about. So pop-up stores, basically following that model and that strategy versus a permanent retail store. So looking at Gymshark and researching them, they were used to do a lot of trade shows. That's how they first started. They did a trade show. They were doing $400 in sales. And then they did their first trade show where they advertised their Luxe fitted tracksuit. I think it was their first thing. And after that trade show, they came home and they checked their sales, and it was 42,000 in a day. Imagine that, from 400 to 42,000 in a day.
So that was at Body Expo, right?
That Body Expo, the first one. So now that they have a following, they kind of moved away, and now they do these pop-up stores where they have events. Say it's New York City, they would create a hashtag Lift NYC, and then they would have the influencers from the area advertise it to their following and advertise it to the whole Gymshark following. Hey guys, we're going to be in New York City for this week. Come visit us and see your favorite influencers, or come and try or touch and see our new clothing lines. So
I think first high level, just to say this, a great strategy. What I think you forgot to mention this, or you did, but I want to bring it to one line. Yeah, right. Find a way where you could engage with your customers in real life. Yeah. Right, in person. What Gymshark does is now creates these real life pop-up events, and they build a lot of awareness and basically pump it out. Right, They don't just pick any location; they pick a location that they know that their audience is in.
Have a strong following.
If you could do a pop-up just in in the middle of nowhere,
the major cities, Toronto, Chicago, New York, LA,
and they build up that hype around it and what they're actually going to do there, and it's probably huge value. So go ahead.
But you're also bringing, the biggest thing for e-commerce companies is you're bringing your brand to life. So, usually you're selling online, there's no presence. And now people are coming to see the influencers, they're coming to see the brand, the clothing in life, and they're having an experience with the e-commerce brand, which is huge. Very big, very big. And then what they're doing now too is their influencers, their major influencers, they're creating branded lines with those influencers too. So that's another strategy, a great idea for when you become wide scale, just be creating different lines of clothing with your different influencers. But the pop-up stores versus the retail, that's a great idea. I think retail stores are soon to be going away, or at least going to be disappearing as basically rent comes higher and what's happening today. So pop-up stores.
I see it all over New York City right now. Glossier, I believe last year, did some pop-up near Soho, which is, again, their demographic. I literally see, we were just talking about Spirit Halloween.
Yeah,
they have some retail location, permanent ones in the city, but a lot of them, they do pop-up locations like you spoke of.
I see pop-up restaurants, popular restaurants are popping up in malls now, just for a month or two.
And that's actually a good way to see if your audience is there. Should you even have maybe doing a pop-up before, even if you decide to do a retail route, but everything's moving online. So, but people do like real life events, right? And if you could do it on an occasional, or not occasional, or like a seasonal basis, or whatever you're doing, that's huge, because you're building that momentum, you're building that awareness, and then you're going to have that what's it called? Return on investment, because
course.
now you have all the customers knowing about it. They're going to go to that location because they know it's temporary.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be, this is at a very high level with pop-up shops. Obviously, you have to be a large company to do that. But, I mean, thinking about it, like,
Well, no, you don't need to be a large company.
you
I
don't have to
think
be a
so.
large company, but like
I'm about to do a pop-up.
at first, trade shows are great. Even farmers markets. I mean, that's where most small businesses have to start, our farmers market, just to basically touch base with your customers, talking to them in person. And that's how you get a lot of people to follow. So I think the overall thing that you should take away is, even if you're an e-commerce brand or whoever you are, you need to be mobile, flexible, and you need to touch your customers. You need to meet with them in person, and they need to experience your brand in person as well. It can't just be only online. So
I love it. Guys, what do you guys think? I hope you guys liked episode 5. Let us know in the comments what you think, which strategy maybe you're going to start implementing today.
Yeah.
If you like the video, subscribe, hit the thumbs, and also the podcast if you're listening to an audio version. Give us a rating. Hopefully, it's 5 stars, right?
5 stars.
5
It's out
stars.
of 5.
5. But if it's 1, I mean, you
It's
can
out
just
of
let
10.
us know if it's out of 10,
Yeah.
and 10 stars. But let us know.
Any feedback is good feedback.
Any feedback. Scoback, you got a Twitter now?
Twitter, yes, Scopac, right?
I'm Scopac. I'm at Sean_Azari.
I'll be
Tweet
on
us.
IG now, Matthew_Alexander with 2 X's. So
Boom. Damn, that sounds
Sean
like you might
made
as well
me
put
create it.
you might as well put Matthew Alexander 562789 _
_XOXO.
Guys, see you next week. Hope you liked it, and peace.
Later, boys.